Please, what was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. What do you think the cause of the Civil War was? I'm sorry?
I'm not running for president. I want to see your view on the cause of the Civil War.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they can have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do or be anything they want to be without government getting in the way.
Thank you. And then in the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
You answered my question.
Next question.
Okay, I'm gonna make this easy. The answer to the cause of the Civil War was slavery. Period. It was slavery. It was fought over the right to allow the institution of slavery to exist. When Republicans like Nikki Haley say that it was about the role of government or states' rights, ask them about the role of government to do what, specifically? About the right of states to do what, specifically? To allow their citizens to own slaves. Anything else beyond saying those words is nothing more than Confederacy apologia. Apologia for the same form of government whose existence was predicated on fighting to allow the institution of slavery. So the next time you hear that anyone suggests that Nikki Haley is the moderate in this race, show them this video where she's either too scared or too racist to acknowledge that the point of the Confederacy was to allow slaves, because I'll tell you what, nothing moderate about that. And the fact that she is considered the moderate puts on full display just how aggressively, unapologetically, dangerously extreme the Republican Party has become. That a slavery apologist is considered the tame one goes to show just how unhinged today's GOP really is. And by the way, she knows it. Remember what she said immediately after being asked the question at first.
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think...
Don't come with an easy question or anything. She's being sarcastic because she's suggesting that being asked what the Civil War was fought over is a hard question. And again, if you ever took an elementary school social studies class or have a basic understanding of US history, then you would know that the difference between the North and the South during the Civil War was that slave-owning states fought against non-slave-owning states for the right to be able to own slaves. So either Nikki Haley doesn't know anything about the history of the country she's running to lead, or she's doing the same bullshit slavery apologia that those very slave owners did while trying to justify their effort to own human beings. Either way, I'd say it's all pretty disqualifying. Honestly, the person who initially asked this question said it perfectly, that in 2023, someone can explain what the Civil War was without mentioning the word slavery really is an answer unto itself. Clearly, this person wasn't trying to get help writing a 5th grade term paper from Nikki Haley. He was seeing if she was willing to acknowledge objective reality, or if she would instead defer to the racist who's got the Republican base in a chokehold. By refusing to utter the word, she gave her answer. And by the way, just because Haley is a minority herself doesn't mean she's not perfectly willing to kowtow to the racists who own the modern GOP. Look at Vivek Ramaswamy, someone who Haley herself clearly hates. He's a minority as well, but there is zero daylight between him and Donald Trump, the guy who sought to implement a Muslim ban, the guy who's teased starting a war with Mexico, the guy who spent years demonizing immigrants. So Haley might hate Vivek, but she is a hell of a lot more like him than she thinks. So if she thinks he's a disgusting bigot, then Haley might want to consider not throwing stones. At this point, the modern Republican Party is practically begging people to see them for who they are, a white grievance party whose sole operating principle is fear of losing influence to folks who are non-white, non-straight, non-Christian, and non-conservative. That's it. They beat their chests as alphas, but they are scared and desperate, and Republican politicians and right-wing media feed on that fear on a daily basis. That's why all we hear about is migrant caravans and CRT and BLM and DEI and whatever else they can use to exploit their white base into keeping them in power. Nikki Haley isn't stupid. She knows exactly what she's doing. And what she's doing is exploiting the fear of a sad and desperate base that has been groomed into voting to cling on to their waning relevance. So Haley might claim to be different, but she is as basic a Republican as you could possibly find. Before you go, I need some help. please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.